We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU9 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Travis Chen. Well, one Siouxland business is back up and running after last week's floods thanks to the support of community volunteers and corporate neighbors. It's our top story at 6. Well, here's some pictures from last Sunday. As you can see, lots of water up and down the aisles of the Sunshine Foods in Haywarden. But today looks a lot different as customers were able to come in and shop for much needed items. The store was able to open quickly because of the help of volunteers and other Sunshine store managers in the area.
Actually, we had a lot of Sunshine managers from other stores come in and help us out, so that was a great help. A lot of community members, which was awesome considering how much is needed in the community right now, and our employees stepped up and really helped us out as well. And they've been great at helping us. We were in the middle of resetting our store anyway, so they've been great at putting stuff where it belongs and getting us back into shape.
The store would also like to thank all the volunteers that built a sand levee behind the store to try and prevent waters from getting inside the store. Well, Tyson Foods deployed its Meals That Matter disaster relief team out to McCook Lake to provide hot meals, water, and ice to those impacted by the recent flooding in the Siouxland area. Company volunteers made chicken and prepped containers of food to give to residents as they pulled up. We spoke with a member of the team about the connection they have with the area wanting to help out.
Tyson has a huge presence here in the Iowa, South Dakota area, and we wanted to be here today to serve meals and to show the community that Tyson cares about what is going on and our team members and reaching out to the communities to help support them.
Well, not only has Tyson helped with meals in McCook Lake, but they've also delivered meals to Jefferson, South Dakota and Dakota City, Nebraska, and other communities that were affected during the flood. Today we're learning more details about the railroad bridge that partially collapsed near North Sioux City, South Dakota. BNSF told KCAU that Sunday night they suspended operations on the bridge around 6 p.m. The bridge collapse happened around 11 p.m., 5 hours later. Officials told KCAU 3 days ago that crews are making considerable progress on the bridge, but it will require extensive repair work. There's still no timeline today on when the work on the bridge will be done. Another community affected by last week's floods is Rock Rapids, Iowa. Reporter Don Jorgensen has more on one couple as they clean up after the flood.
It was so unpredictable that it came so fast.
Kathy Schoeneman and her husband Dale, who live somewhat close to the Rock River, have survived floods before, like the one in 2014. But to find yourself in a similar situation again 10 years later.
Your mind is gone. You know, it's such a shock.
Brought back a lot of painful memories.
2014, excuse me, when the flood came, we had time, but when this one showed up, there was no time.
He says they had no warning.
I talked to the fire department this morning, and he's like, Dale, we couldn't even get to you to warn you. That's how fast it came into town.
The Schoenemans lost pretty much everything.
Dale, my husband, was getting out a few things out of the garage, and within 10 minutes, he had to flee for his life.
You can see the water line inside their house. It's about 3 feet deep. The state inspector red-tagged their house, labeling it as an unsafe structure. For now, they're staying with their daughter.
There's nowhere for people to go. There's so many people in the same boat, you know. There's just so many.
As bad as it is for the Schoenemans, they are grateful for their neighbors who are helping and knowing they're leaving with something.
My husband, my family, my cat, and my dog.
Walked in the front door, everything is destroyed. And you're just like, family's okay. Thank God. Replaceable, not replaceable.
Well, the 4th of July is less than a week away, and Okoboji is one of the top destinations for many of you to spend your holiday. But if you are planning on spending your 4th in Okoboji, be prepared for some changes. Swimming is allowed, but do it at your own risk. The lakes are contaminated because of raw sewage that has been released into the water. If you want to boat, there is a 5-mile-per-hour wake rule in effect for all lakes in Dickinson County. Be careful while boating. There is a lot of stuff floating in the lakes.
If you do come up here, just remember that there's a lot of debris floating in this water. So at 5 miles an hour, it shouldn't be a problem, but there are full docks and planks and things like that floating across our water. So be cognizant of that so that you don't run into something and wreck a boat or a prop out on the water. So.
Now, there is no timetable for when the wake rule will be lifted in Dickinson County. Well, a lot of discussion this week on whether South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem should have deployed the South Dakota National Guard to help communities like McCook Lake with flooding. Reporter Dan Santella sat down with the governor and her answers to some tough questions.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem says deploying the National Guard was among the options for responding to the floodwaters that consumed several South Dakota communities.
We did down in Union County, when I was down there, I believe on Sunday, have a discussion about National Guard, and they were talking about security resources that they needed. So after that discussion, we decided it would be more appropriate to bring law enforcement in who had the authority to actually, they were concerned about people going into homes that were unsafe and not being able to stop them, maybe looters and people that would be vandalizing some of these homes that did not have families in them any longer, and realized that the authority that a law enforcement officer and highway patrol officer would have would be much more appropriate than a National Guard soldier.
The National Guard wasn't dispatched. Now, Noem's previous decision to send the Guard to the U.S. border with Mexico has received attention.
Is there an inconsistency in sending the Guard to the border but not to Union County?
No, it's a completely different situation. And I would say that people that have time to criticize should instead get off their keyboards and go help their neighbors. You know, go help people in South Dakota get through this situation. People have lost their homes. And to politicize it is completely inappropriate.
With this decision, Noem emphasizes a precise mission.
The National Guard, when they are deployed, they have to have a mission. And in sitting there with the community, having the discussion on if it was appropriate to use the National Guard or not, they decided not to make a request because they did not have a mission for them to complete.
With floodwaters leaving scars and holes like these and leaving many homes unlivable, there's no shortage of people needing support. Asked how well-wishers can help the people who were hit so hard, Noem highlights a local office.
I think always work with your county emergency management director. They know where the needs are, and they're helping to coordinate that.
Right, well, many people are in need of help in Siouxland after the record flooding. That's why KCAU9 and Nexstar Media Group have teamed with the Siouxland Recovery Fund. All the donations received will go directly to our friends, neighbors, and families who have been through so much in the last week. If you want to contribute, we have a link on our website, SiouxlandProud.com, and the KCAU9 News app. Well, checking in with meteorologist Maggie Warren. Maggie, these communities don't need any more rain. So tell me we do not have more rain coming.
Unfortunately, we do have some more rain coming, but not for a bit. So still some time to see those river levels continue to go down, although still have flood warnings up along the Big Sioux River, the Little Sioux River, and the Vermilion River as we do continue to see those river levels continue to come back down. Many of those, though, still in minor to moderate flood stage, including up there in Spencer, where they are at just above that moderate flood stage of 14 feet. Forecast to slowly come back down to within minor flood stage through the next several days. And then we take a look at Cherokee downstream, just a little bit still in that moderate flood stage as well. And again, forecast to slowly come back down into the minor flood stage. However, again, going to have to continue to watch those river levels as we see rain chances and storm chances return for our Monday, and all the details on those storm chances coming up in my full forecast. Travis?
All right, thanks, Maggie. Well, this summer's Art Walk in Sioux City will be just a bit different. The theme for the walk is Advance to Go. It will feature more than 40 local artists taking part in a unique exhibit. They will take traditional game boards and turn them into artworks. Visitors will have the opportunity to see the masterpieces and vote on their favorite artwork. A local artist says the artists were given a game board in April and had 3 months to complete the art piece.
What I've heard from the other artists and what I've experienced myself with my own game board is that artists are are achieving very creative results, something that we never would have done if we had not been, spurred to do this by this particular event.
Now, whoever gets the People's Choice Award will receive a $200 gift card to Games Kings. The Art Walk takes place July 11th. The event is free to the public.